Okay, couple things to preface before I start this video. One, yes, my hair is now blonde. Secondly, this isn't my camera, I don't own it, I'm borrowing it. It's fine. It quickly feels like this channel is becoming a Mamiya fan club, seeing as I keep talking about them all the time. But today, I'm going to be looking at the Mamiya 7, particularly the Mamiya 7 II, which is quickly becoming one of the most popular film cameras out there, which is shooting the prices right up. But let's first get into a few pros and cons as to why the Mamiya 7 is either the right camera for you or not the right camera for you. Let's start with the pros. Got my notes here. First thing, mentally sharp. I've been shooting with this for about a week now and I've shot 5 rolls through it, I think. I've got back 2 of them, 2 rolls of Acros, which are impeccably sharp, all shot with the 80mm f4. When I first got it, I thought 80mm f4, not going to let enough light in, and why would anyone want a standard lens as an f4? It's amazing, like it's so sharp, unbelievably sharp. I don't think I've ever shot with anything that's quite as sharp, not a problem. The other lenses available for this, there is obviously the 80mm f4, there's a 65mm, which works out to be sort of a 35-ish. There's a 43, I think it is, or a 48, which is a 21, which is super wide and you need an external viewfinder to frame up with. There's 150, which is quite nice for portraits. I haven't shot with one, but from what I've seen looks very nice. And there's 210. There may be some other lenses, can't remember off the top of my head. My reference material is this thing, which actually pretty good to be honest. Got a supplementary thing about the Mamiya 7. Is that going to focus? There? Yeah, pretty good, not bad. So it's a book I recommend if you're looking to get into the Mamiya. Next pro, very easy to use. So most rangefinders, focus, aperture, shutter speed, and you've got exposure compensation here, and then shoot. Like, it's so easy to use. Next thing, very quiet. I mean, for a 6.7 camera, what I'm used to is the RZ, which, as everyone probably knows, because of the massive mirror, very noisy. You can hear it a mile away. This, literally, if I put it on multi, put it up to the mic, like, that's quiet, especially for a 6.7, that's insane. Yeah, like, I couldn't get over how quiet that was. You can barely hear it when you're shooting. It is lovely to shoot with. It's just simple to understand. Like, you pick up the camera and you can just go, like, advance, put it in aperture priority, set the right aperture, and you can just go. So in the viewfinder, you've got little illuminated numbers at the bottom, really easy to use. Metering seems to be very accurate. I don't know how center weighted it is, like it seems to be more center weighted than I'm used to, but I mean, like, it's pretty good. Like, you can't really fault it, and the one that I'm borrowing, meter is very accurate, so that's all good. Next thing, viewfinder is very clean, as in when you line your eye up right, you can just see it very easily. Nice bright frame lines, and the frame lines move with the parallax depending on how close you're focusing, which is nice, just so you know what is actually going to be in frame. And the framing also seems to be very accurate as in correlation to the frame lines. Can't really see anything. Was trying to get in the shot and have missed, or didn't want in the shot and have got in. Frame lines seem very accurate. That's the pros, and this is a phenomenal camera. I have shot with it. I didn't think I was going to like it as much as I have. I mean, it's not the right camera for me because I'm not a big rangefinder fan, but just a sort of an everyday carry-around camera, really fun to use, really easy, can't really fault it. But cons. So, first one I think most people will realise is price. This camera is usually going to sell, or regularly sells, for over £2,000. Don't know what that is in dollars, sorry. But this, which is a very beaten up, all around here, all on the edges, this will probably still sell for over 2,000, which, I mean, it's a relatively new rangefinder and it is very high quality, but I think the surge in popularity over the last few years has driven the price even further up. So I think if you are going to get one, I'd recommend getting one sooner rather than later, because I can see the price getting higher and higher just as they get more and more scarce and more people start buying them. This next con is fixability. I know that these can be quite prone to issues. They are fully electronic cameras. They run on one 4LR44 or one PX28. They can have metering issues. They can sort of stop communicating the lens properly. So it's a leaf shutter lens, which is completely controlled electronically, and they can be prone to quite a lot of issues. So bear in mind that you might need to get it serviced or fixed semi-regularly. It's up to you really. If there's something wrong with it, then get it fixed. You don't necessarily need to continually be having it serviced. Next one is, I don't know whether this is because I wear glasses all the time, but the numbers along the bottom of the frame. So when you look through the viewfinder, you've got the spot in the middle to focus on, you've got the area around for the parallax and for the framing, and then at the very bottom you've got these numbers that light up, just little LEDs, and I found it quite hard to see them. In order to see the rangefinder patch and see the numbers, I had to move my eye slightly, which was fine, but it got a little bit annoying after a while. Quite often I'd forget that I need to be able to see the numbers in order to know what shutter speed I'm at, otherwise I end up overexposing the image. And I had it a couple of times shooting Acros 100, where depending on where I point the camera it would be overexposing because the shutter speeds aren't high enough, but for all intents and purposes they came out fine. It seems to manage it quite well, so that wasn't too much of a problem. The last one I'm going to talk about, which I think is more of a personal one, just because I think if you have the camera and use it regularly, it's not going to be an issue. But I thought that film loading was quite a pain. It uses these funny little tabs down here, which you push to the side, and it pops this out, and then you pop your spool in here with film in it, and then you push this back up, and that should lock it in. But I thought that was a little bit fiddly, so sort of while on the go, I would finish a roll, go to change it, and I'd have to be stood there for sort of 5-10 minutes fiddling around with it, making sure it's all lined up and getting it to wind on properly. So that was a little bit of an issue for me. I mean, yeah, if you use the camera a lot, and I'm sure if you use it more regularly, loading film sort of all the time, it wouldn't be as much of a problem, and you would get much more comfortable loading film. So I guess that's more of a personal con. But other than that, I had so much fun shooting with this camera. Just so easy to use, can't really fault it, and it just works beautifully. I don't know if I could justify the price. As I'm saying, I'm only borrowing this camera, I'm not planning on buying one. But if anyone was looking for one, I'd seriously recommend seeing one physically and holding it, seeing if it is right for you. I know that might be hard just with eBay and things like that, but yeah, that's just what I'd recommend. I'm now going to put up some pictures. As I say, I only shot 5 rolls of film with this, but I'll pop up some pictures now. You can have a look through them, see what you think, and yeah, I will be back in a second. As you can probably see, it was mostly just out and about. All I really had at the time was sort of post-lockdown. I've got tons of Acros 100, like you would not believe. I think I've got 6 boxes left, something like that. It's more Acros 100 than anyone really needs. It's fun. I like the film. I hope you like the pictures. Yeah, relatively short video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions at all, leave them in the comments, and I pretty much answer all of them, so say whatever you want. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe would be good, but not really bothered. and thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.